Now the conversation on the life and times of former president continues as we bring in publisher of the Eagle Online, Dotun Oladipo, as well as a legal practitioner, Stanley Damabide. It's a pleasure to have you both here tonight. Thank you very much for joining us, gentlemen. Now I'm going to be starting with you now. What would you be if you fond memories, or what would your fondest memories of the president be? That's former President Muhammadu Buhari. I think we might have. Oh, good.
I'll say it's about his street life, sort of what people call his Spartan life. I know that it's one of the reasons is that this cult-like followership, and it speaks for him, especially when he first ruled the country as a military man. It's one of the things people will always refer to, that there was so much discipline in the country that without being told, you get on the queue anywhere you go. Without being told, you follow the rules. And I think it's something that stands a country out when you know that this is the law, this is the rule, and you don't need anyone to compel you to do it but yourself. So for me, that stands out, really, really stands out.
Now, Dr., if I was to ask you what policies you'd say the late president had put in place that really stands out for you, that's of great, tremendous impact to the nation, which one would it be?
Well, I really won't say I'll be able to pick out one, because there are quite a few of them. But I think that despite the backlash of the swap in change of our naira denomination, I think the fact that we got to a point where we are now able to do more of our transactions without physical cash is good for me. You know, that policy was painful at the time it came, but for me, it has also helped us a lot to see that we can't survive without carrying cash around. You find even when you are buying pepper in the market, you do your transaction, by POS, by transfer, and all the rest. So it's easier for us to live our lives without carrying cash around. Really, I think for me, that's a great one.
A great one indeed. Now, Doctor, many people have said that the former president's empathy was kind of like got in the way of his ability to make very stern political decisions. But if I was to ask you, what is your description of Buhari's type of politics? Was he your typical politician, or would you say he learned on the job maybe as he was going? What would you say?
He's not my typical politician, and we could see that, because one of the things that people said about him was the fact that you could go with him to ask him for his opinion on an issue, and he will never take one until you leave. He will listen to you, hear what you have to say, perhaps all sides, and possibly say nothing. And a lot of people found that very, very strange, because what they think a leader should do, and which some I agree with, is to be able to say very firmly from the onset, this is where I stand. But for those who are close to him, they said this has helped him a lot, because at the end of the day, it offered them the opportunity to listen to all sides and take a position. And by the time he's taken that position, it's even too late for anybody to lobby. That's what those who are close to him have said. So if the style worked for him while he was in government, it's good. But I also think that as a civilian president, the fact that he had to go through the democratic process, the National Assembly, I mean the federal, though even as a military head of state, he had the Supreme Military Council and all the rest. But for democracy, it was a bit different because he had to go the whole org, right? The National Assembly, seek approval, convey, Federal Executive Council meeting, before things are wrapped up, people present different memos and all the rest. So it was a different ball game as civilian president. And I think that's where people felt it wasn't too decisive. I agree with them, but for those close to him who have come to say, it's a style that is unique to him. Well, I can say I leave it at that. But for me, I also would say I like people who say where they are going, take decisions very quickly, and let it go.
Okay. There's one last question. I was wondering, do you think that the late president was a unifier?
Not so many people think so. But those who are close to him, one of the things that they came out with is that contrary to opinion, he wasn't even a religious bigot. Those who are close to him. I'm not that close to him. But that's what we have seen. And then in the country, no matter how you look at it, there are always complaints about appointments. And that's why this issue of unification comes from. Every time a civilian president is in power, even this government that we have now, you will see that they are going to come up with a list to show that, yes, we appointed people from all parts of the country. And that tells you that at every point in time, we have that issue of unity to contend with. In a democracy, we can't run away from that.
Well, Dotun, I want to say thank you very much for giving us your input here tonight. Dotun Oladipo is the publisher of The Eagle. Thank you very much, Dotun.